YouTube, what's happening? My name is Kevin from Simpledrummer.com. In this video, we're going to continue learning about rhythms that are derived from 16th notes. I'm going to show you two more rhythms that have something in common. They both include the notes on the E's and the U's. These are the offbeat notes. In this lesson video, I'm going to break down these two rhythms and show you how to combine them. We'll practice playing them with 16th notes, and we'll start off by doing that over a steady pulse. This is going to help you to lock down the timing so that you're playing the rhythms the way they should sound and with the correct sticking. Once you've got it down, then you can practice a couple of exercises that I'll show you to help you internalize the rhythms and make them a part of your musical drumming. Are you ready to get into this? I'm ready. Let's do it now. We're going to begin with a dotted 8th note on the 1, and then you'll see that we're playing a 16th note at the end of that beat. You should know by now that that's the So you're playing the first note with your right hand and the last note with your left hand. On beat 2, we're putting it together with the inversion of that rhythm. That means beat 2 starts with the 16th, then the dotted 8th. That's the 2E. So you're playing those notes right, left. Finally, for the last two beats of the measure, we're just going to play 16th notes the whole way through. Now, the first thing you need to do is lock down this rhythm so that you're playing it accurately and with the correct sticking. It's really important to start at a very slow tempo so that you can pay attention to the 16th note subdivision overall. Each note has its own specific little pocket, and you want to make sure that you're placing them exactly in the perfect place in time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... If you've never been here before, then hit that red subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell so that you get notified every time we have a new video. So at this point, you should be feeling pretty confident with that first exercise. That rhythm should be singable and easy to play without any interruption to where your sense of the pulse is. If you're feeling like you're there, we're going to start playing it as a musical drum fill. Now we're going to practice this in a really simple exercise that's 4 measures long and repeats. First, we need a groove pattern to play. Throughout this lesson, we're going to keep it simple. We'll play an 8th note backbeat on the hi-hats and snare drum, and on the kick, we'll play the 1 and then the 2 and. That will give this groove a little bit of syncopation, which will fit nicely with the syncopated rhythms that we're playing during the fill. So you're going to start off by hitting the crash and playing that groove pattern for the first 3 measures. When you get to the 4th measure, that's where we'll play this rhythm as a fill. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... If you've been enjoying this video, hit that like button, because a simple little click goes a long way to just show a little bit of support. And I really appreciate it. So does the subway train that's rolling in right now. Let's move on together to the second exercise from the PDF. This one has the same rhythms that we saw in the last one, except they're reversed. We're going to be starting off by playing the 1E, and you know this because the 16th note comes first, then the dotted 8th note. On beat 2, we have a dotted 8th note with a 16th at the end, which is going to be the You want to make sure that your sticking is right, left, and then right, and then left on the That's really important. Now, starting on beat 3, you have 16th notes to play for the remainder of that measure. I want you to look out and pay attention for the on beat 2. That has to be played with your left hand, leading into the 16th notes that follow. We're going to practice this at 60 BPM first, so that you can really work on hearing the 16th note subdivision the whole way through. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... We're going to start off by playing on the snare, but later on we'll be using more of the drum kit. What we'll do is practice this rhythm in the same repeating 4-measure exercise that we did last time. We're going to start by hitting the crash and playing that groove pattern for the first 3 measures. When you get to the 4th measure, play this rhythm on the snare as your fill. Once you're finished, you're going to hit the crash and repeat the exercise again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... On YouTube, we don't have much time, so I'm really just presenting these ideas as clearly as I can so that you can work on it at home and get something out of it. But if you want to dive a little deeper, I'll let you know that these are really only the first 2 exercises from the full lesson at Simpledrummer. There are play-along practice videos, so you can hit play and practice the exercises together with me and the click for as long as you'd like. We don't have enough time to do that on YouTube, so head over to Simpledrummer and start a free trial now. Alright, enough with the plugs. there are still some things that we can do together right now that will help you get a little more out of these rhythms. At this point, you should be feeling pretty comfortable with those first two rhythms that we've learned together. The next step is to practice alternating between them. Just to increase the challenge a little bit more and make this a bit more interesting, we're also going to add in more of the drum kit. You'll notice on the PDF, there are orchestration examples. These are examples of different ways to take the rhythms you're learning and play them around the snare and the toms and use more of the drum kit. If you take the first example on the PDF, you'll notice that it's telling you to play the first half of the measure on the snare and the second half of the measure on the toms. We'll start off by hitting the crash cymbal and playing that same 8th note groove pattern for the first 3 measures. Then we're going to play the first rhythm that we learned together. The first half will be on the snare, and then the 16th notes on beat 3 and 4 will be on the toms. Once you're finished playing that fill, whether it's right or wrong, you're hitting the crash and continuing onwards. The next time you get to the fill, then I want you to play the second rhythm that we learned from the PDF. Same thing, first half on the snare, second half on the toms. After that, you're back to the beginning of the exercise. So the groove pattern will stay the same, and we'll keep playing in a repeating 4 measures. We're just going to alternate the fill that happens at the end of the exercise. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So I hope that you got a lot out of this video and that these rhythms help to kind of give you a little more spice when you're playing your music on the drums. After all, the more rhythms we learn, the deeper your vocabulary gets and the more fluent you are in this language. And that's what we all want, right? Thanks a lot for checking out this video. I'm Kevin from Simpledrummer, and I'll see you next time.